What's up, everyone? We're going to be talking Daredevil episode 3 and a little bit of Avengers. I'm Joe Zapata here with Tony Stark, DC. Dave Callari. What's up, Dave?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Let's talk a little bit about Daredevil. Well, first, I don't know if you saw the numbers. It did pretty well, 7.5 million streaming views. I don't know if you saw that. It was pretty
I
good.
didn't. I find it weird because sometimes it's difficult to find streaming numbers from a lot of different services. I guess unless it's doing very well, I'm sure they're fine to release the information.
That's what they released. Now, they did say, which I thought was kind of weird, was that out of all the shows, Disney Plus shows, it came in third. Loki season 2 had 10.5 views for the first week. Then Agatha all along had 9.3 or something.
Okay.
And then came Daredevil, which I thought was weird. I don't know why.
I'm a little surprised because I feel like there was a lot of hype for Daredevil, and
There was
also there's not that there's not a built-in audience for Loki, but it's different. Like there's, we've got three full seasons of Daredevil, and then the petitions and everything since then going like leading up to now. And then we all heard about the rewrites and this and that. And it's like people were waiting.
People were waiting. Well, episode 3 dropped yesterday. So I'm going to let everyone know we are going to be talking a little bit of spoilers. So the spoilers are coming, guys. So just let you know. It was a great episode. I thought basically about White Tiger and basically in court defending him against everything that was going on. Yep. Dave, I'll let you take it away. What did you think of the episode and everything?
I thought the episode was great. I'm talking about the strong points because the weak points are whatever. Again, the writing's good because I was mesmerized by literally we're watching a courtroom drama, right? We get to see a little bit about Mr. With Ayala. I forget his first name. Hector Ayala. I really wish we got a little bit more background
of White Tiger.
On White Tiger.
Me too.
And where he comes from, the amulet. There's like could be a deep character and a really good inclusion into the MCU. And then at the end,
obviously he gets he's not guilty, found not guilty. He gets,
which I thought was great. I felt the emotion of the scene. I was like, okay, because I thought at least the first 2 counts, I'm like, okay, I'm like maybe the man that like what is called involuntary manslaughter, maybe I'm like get him on that one, and they didn't.
Yep. He's not guilty, found not guilty, and you're like, okay, that's great. He then suits up as the character. He's gonna start.
Oh, what's he doing?
Boom! He gets a bullet to the head, and they kind of show the Punisher symbol on somebody's chest. Now, you could saw in the courtroom that the bad cops, had that Punisher tattoo. I think on the neck.
Is there text on that? Is there anything on the top of the skull that we can't? I can't make it out.
No, I couldn't understand. I see it either, so I'm not sure. So obviously, I don't think that's Frank Castle, Punisher. Obviously, I think it's the cops or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's Frank yet. And because then the whole time, Fisk is narrating that scene, telling like I made a promise and I have to uphold it. So I'm pretty sure it's one of the cops who have adopted the Punisher skull, or he's trying to make it look like Castle is back. And that's how Frank ends up coming back to clear himself.
And you see Vanessa, she's actually working the back end of Kingpin. She's trying to be clear. Kingpin's trying to be, Mr. Clean Hands, but she's trying to work in the back in that world. And you see them both fighting their alter ego. Daredevil and Kingpin are both fighting that alter ego not to be that person.
Yeah.
Which we don't get a lot of Daredevil right now. And I heard he doesn't suit up maybe until like the 4th or 5th episode.
Yeah, I could see that because I can see a big investigation coming for Hector. Clearly, when Frank Castle shows up, we're going to get hopefully some pretty heavy dialogue and exposition about where he's been or why he's back. I have a feeling they'll be on good terms, but also a little bit divided, like they were in the Netflix series. So I don't anticipate anything with Matt in the suit until he has to suit up probably with Frank, which is not bad.
Yep. I think there's going to be, when Matt finds out what happened to White Tiger, he's going to feel kind of responsible for that.
He might. He definitely might. And it was interesting as Hector's in prison talking about how he's like, I didn't choose White Tiger. White Tiger chose me. Like it's a calling. I'm pretty sure Matt said that same speech to somebody in the Netflix show at some point, probably
Yep.
in season 2 or halfway through season 3 when he's trying to come back from being broken. So he'll see a lot of parallels because he had the chance. He did come back and made it, and this guy didn't. So.
Yep. Now I don't know too much about the character in the comic books. I know he has the amulet. Does that bring him back to life or anything? I mean, I don't know much about.
I don't know. I don't know enough. The only thing I remember seeing in the comics was that there's apparently he has 3 different amulets, and they all kind of add up. I think this is just the tiger head that he has. So I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because
he's a relatively newer character. I think he was introduced in like 2019. So I don't think he's got a huge lore, a huge backstory. But
no, he doesn't.
It's possible we could see him again.
It is,
you can't have a mystical amulet and be like, well, I guess that's it, guys.
Because he had it on, and when after he got shot, you did hear like a beach or something, some things in the background.
So I thought that was really interesting because when he's talking to Matt in the cell, he's talking about the tree frog that makes noise. So all you're hearing is the beach, the waves, and the tree frog. Correct. So this could be the the neon forest like we see in Black Panther, right? I'm not really sure. Or it could just be a nice nod to the character telling a story about how he grew up. But I do like the attention to detail.
Yes, they're doing a really great job. The writer's doing really good. And so far, the first 3 episodes have been amazing. I enjoyed this series and I can't wait. And they say that after episode 9, you're going to be dying for a season, 2. So
well, I'm glad it's already been announced that they're going to do it.
Yes. So that's going to look really good. Episode 4, I think we're going to see a lot of heavy heart with Matt because he's going to, with the white tiger being shot. And I think there's going to be a lot more reveal, especially Muse. Would you think the same thing?
I like the new. So we all know Foggy might not be dead. So I don't know if you caught this Easter egg. So the address of Nelson, Murdoch, and Page was I think it was 458. So apparently that correlates with an issue of Daredevil 458 in which Foggy fakes his own death. In
really?
Yeah. So
that might be interesting.
I don't know enough about that, whatever that story arc was, but I saw it. So you never know.
You never know. Well, it wouldn't surprise me. We'll see. So we'll look forward to next
week. Sometimes I like to watch the show for the show, and the Easter eggs are cool, but I don't want to come up with all these crazy theories, get real excited for something, and then we still get a good story, but it's not the story I hyped myself up for,
Yeah, exactly. So now I guess we'll turn our attention to the Avengers. There was a lot of rumors and a lot of leaks going on. I don't know. Did you see some of the concept art?
I saw a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay. So I have some concept art
here.
You're
art. I love it when this happens.
Okay. So let's just take this up right here. All right. We see this now. I look at this, believe it or not, this concept art, and I heard it could be possibly from the White Vision series.
Okay.
That's what I heard rumors, because a lot of the concept art that we see, I've seen some in Thor Love and Thunder before, some for Black Panther 2, and then some of that concept art never shows up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. I'm kind of curious on how much of this is actually leaked. Because listen, they've done a great job over the years of keeping everything under wraps. And we all know that Marvel post Endgame is not the same as Marvel pre Endgame. So, someone you could easily lose your job over leaking this stuff. And if it's like an artist who's commissioned to create renderings and concept art, and he could possibly put it on his online portfolio, and then it gets out there and it's quickly pulled. It's pulled, I think almost the same day or the next day.
Yeah.
Is it intentional? I don't know. But we're talking about it, so it worked.
Yeah, we are talking about it, so it worked. They actually are filming, I think this week in UK, they started filming Doomsday, from what I understand. So this week they started filming it. Now, this is going to be a totally different, this is Marvel's moneymaker, right? This is the money, Avengers.
So far.
This is going to be a totally different team, totally different, because now after Endgame, this is going to be something different. And, new leadership, the original OGs are not going to be there. Maybe Thor might pop in. I don't know. So this is going to be all new. That's why I think they brought the Russos in to do this again, because
the only originals we have are Banner, Hawkeye,
Hawkeye,
Thor,
Thor,
and the Guardians.
and the Guardians.
And
Yes,
Strange too.
yes, Strange
So
too.
it's a very different looking team. And some of the concept art made looked like it came from inspired by like the 2015 run of Secret Wars, where it's like uh, Doom has changed the whole world or the whole scope of civilization and like
Yeah.
his image. So there's like some medieval stuff.
Well, here's another look you can see
Yeah,
of Doom in his chair. That's actually a pretty cool picture.
it is.
We also have this of a Black Panther one coming up.
Yeah,
Who,
I saw a YouTube video of someone being like, "Oh, this movie looks crazy. It looks like we're gonna get a recast Black Panther." And it's like, dude, settle down. Again, it's just concept art. We don't know if they're gonna recast or go with that. Could be anyone from Wakanda.
yes, you don't know who that could be.
It could be M'Baku for all we know.
It could be. This is another one they had concept art of Scar and Hulk and everything.
Yep,
And then there was another one of them at the Doom, and I think that's Strange is on the side on the left hand there.
yep.
It looks pretty cool, the concept art, But again, I've seen concept art a lot of times before, and it never showed up in the movie.
Doesn't show up. Yeah,
You
we're
know?
we're so far out. Right,
Mhm,
we're a minimum of a year away.
mhm.
Tons of things could happen, and I don't know. Like the picture with Quill and Vision.
Yes.
I don't think you can just bring Vision back in Avengers Doomsday without trying to shoehorn him into some Disney show or some other movie before that because
Mhm.
it's been too long.
It's been too long.
There was too much time between WandaVision and Agatha, even though Agatha was a good show.
Mhm,
But I think it could have done better if it came closer on the heels of WandaVision.
mhm,
I think there's too many open loopholes to just be like, hey guys, look who's back. What?
mhm. Have you heard any other rumors as far as with the Avengers, as far as I know, Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four or anything?
No, but apparently, in that story arc, Doom is married to Sue Storm.
Yes, I've heard that.
Now that we're a few months away from Fantastic Four, like we can start to see like some story beats may carry over, but I don't know if they'll be big
Mhm,
plot points that carry
mhm.
over.
Were you a fan of them casting Robert Downey Jr.
No,
as
not at all.
I wasn't either,
Not at all. At
a little
first, I
bit different.
saw it as like a cash grab to get people excited
Mhm.
because people are still talking about it.
Yep.
It would be hard to see him as anything but Stark, even if he's a Stark variant who becomes Doom,
Mhm.
which has been hypothesized. But I would love for just to be some not necessarily an unknown, but just somebody who like more fits that role. But the two
Mhm.
Dooms we've gotten so far in the other Fantastic Four don't do a great job either. But Julie McMahon in the original,
Mhm.
he was actually okay.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
then I don't even know who the second guy was in Fan Four Stick from whatever
yeah.
movie it was.
I don't remember who that was. I didn't even see him. I like Robert Downey Jr. as an actor, but I think I don't know.
Listen, if anyone's seen Tropic Thunder, we know he can pull off almost anything.
Yes. Mhm.
So I don't think he'll have a problem portraying the character. It's just this is the character that we want to see.
Mhm.
In that concept art, Doom is he's a large, imposing person. And
Mhm.
suit, even he's I don't know how big he's supposed to be under the suit or if the suit makes him big, but even towards the end, Stark's Iron Man armor's got much sleeker. There was nothing big
Mhm.
about him.
Mhm.
So I'm curious into how they're gonna what his actual look is gonna be.
Mhm. I believe they said they were gonna, stay close to the storyline with Secret Wars, keep all those variants, different worlds and everything. That's what I understand what they're gonna be doing, you know?
I just it makes the stories plausible, but then it also removes the stakes, right? We're
Mhm.
like, oh well, the characters that you love are safe on in their timeline. I
Mhm.
guess
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot's riding on this for many reasons because after Thanos, there's not too many big villains that the Marvel has had, right? Not that I can
no,
think.
no. I
Of.
mean, listen, I saw a really cool post on Instagram that was Doom talking to Thanos, and then Doom goes into that like puts his fist into Thanos and pulls his skeleton out.
Oh yes,
So
I saw. Yeah.
so in the comics we know that we have varying levels of power, but so far in the movies, Thanos has been the biggest and the baddest and the first,
Mm-hmm.
and he was able to erase half the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't really make anything bigger than that. Like there's no other huge threat.
Yep.
Not that they can't make something that's entertaining to watch, but like I said, they could have pulled the plug on the intertwined storylines, and we could have gotten like a bunch of solo movies after
Mm-hmm.
Endgame, and I probably would have been okay with it because I
Mm-hmm.
still feel they're trying to really figure out how to make this thing work, especially after the stuff with Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
think they had a little bit of a clear cut idea of where they were going. Majors happens, and
Mm-hmm.
then oh guys, we gotta retool this real fast.
Yep. You think this movie makes $1 billion easy?
I think it does because it is what it is.
Yeah, because it is an Avengers movie.
I don't think it comes close to Endgame,
No.
which nothing's going to, right? Like the only thing that's obviously come close is Titanic,
Mm-hmm.
but that's been out for 30 years and has seen various re-releases. Not that it doesn't deserve anything that it's gotten, but like it's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know I talked to a couple people and they said that the only reason they're not interested in this movie is because they miss the OG guys. That's what they said to me. They said,
Yeah,
"Oh, it's
yeah.
getting older than
You had a decade of
Yes.
getting attached to characters.
Yes.
Like you were heavily invested in Iron Man, Captain America, Thor,
Mm-hmm.
even with Thor's not so great Dark World movie, like
Mm-hmm.
even the missteps. Like I even liked Captain Marvel. I liked
Okay.
the first movie was fine, and
Yeah, first one,
I liked the roles that she played in the Avengers movies. So like every character had a very specific
mm-hmm.
place, and it felt like everything was very well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I feel it's been scrambling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I liked No Way Home Spider Man, but I haven't rewatched it in a while. But I know if I have a feeling if I go rewatch it, it'll be like it was just trying to drum up some emotions by bringing the other guys back, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't push much of the narrative forward because we see the multiverse, so it's the introduction of that. Doctor Strange shows up, does what he has to do, and then he kind of put everything right. And then
Mm-hmm.
the stakes in that movie are very self-contained, whereas
Mm-hmm.
almost everything from all the other movies, it all came back in Endgame, right? Even the silly thing with the Dark Elves comes back.
Go back. Yes.
We have
Mm-hmm.
to go come back and get the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Bucky, Bucky's still going, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it still makes me excited for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Mm-hmm.
But so I just don't see where I just don't see how they top it. And they don't have to top it; they just have to do something good. But um, I just feel like they're still really trying to figure it out.
Does Rage Hulk need to come back?
I think so.
I think so too. And I've
Everyone
heard it was. I don't know, but I've heard people say,
because
yeah.
you can. I wouldn't mind seeing just a. I don't mind having Banner the Smart Hulk. I don't mind having Banner Hulk, but
Mm-hmm.
just give him a little bit more edge.
Yes.
Right? That's it. Because I feel like even in Endgame, he was a lot smaller than he was in even in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I think Ragnarok was the best on-screen version of Hulk that we've gotten.
It was that's one of my favorite movies. Ragnarok actually is probably one of my top 3 movies out of
Yeah.
them.
Like
Yeah.
he had enough dialogue, and
Mm-hmm.
he knew what was happening, and he
Yes.
was still savage enough to do what
Mm-hmm.
you want the Hulk to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. I like Age of Ultron, the team actually for some reason because that's the only time they worked together as a team,
yeah,
really.
yep.
Because that Civil War they all broke up and then the rest went on. But that was the only time. And I like that movie more than people give it credit for. I like that movie.
Yeah, I think at the time you wanted it to be better,
Yep.
but going back and reviewing it, like I think it still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
But then we go back and look at it, it's like you had characters like Ulysses Claw.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these little characters, some of these little villains are a lot better than some of the stuff that we're currently getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to sound like a Marvel hater because I'm certainly not.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I don't know what part of the writing process is missing to make some of these villains and the storylines like really really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what happens what
I mean,
they do.
I'll be there day one,
Me
like
too.
usual. Pay my $59 a ticket.
Mm-hmm. I'll be there watching it too.
Either. So, but we'll see. We'll see how many of these leaks pan out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, we gotta see. Who do you think is going to be on the team? Actually, do you think it's going to be? Obviously, we're going to get Cap as
Cap,
you know,
Strange. We're going to get some of the. I think we'll get some of the Guardians. We may not get all.
Mm-hmm. Thor.
I want to say Captain Marvel, or at least Miss Marvel.
Mm-hmm. One or the other.
Yeah. I say Strange. He'll probably be there. I don't know if we get. I don't know if we get White Vision. I'd like to. I'd like to only because Wanda's gone. So I'd like to have some realm and someone needs to. I think someone needs to be powered. Like everyone we just really named aside from Strange isn't really powered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
Spider-Man's got to be in there.
Spidey. Tom Holland will be there. Thor will probably be in there. I don't know if he'll have a really big role. I don't know how you can't give Thor a big role, but there's that I think just comes down to like contractual things, right? Like Hemsworth has been in eight or 9 movies as Thor. So and we're still, I don't know.
Well, we're gonna have to see.
Does Natalie Portman come back as Lady Thor?
I don't know.
We have Rhodey, War Machine,
Rhodey, who we haven't seen too much of anything now recently.
No, and then whatever happened to Armor Wars? I forget. That was greenlit. Then I'm not sure. It wasn't. Armor Wars and Ironheart, they're kind of in limbo at the moment.
Because we don't have a real Iron Man, I guess. Well, Ironheart, whatever her name is.
Right. There's no genius in a suit right now.
Nope.
I will probably get some version, obviously, of the Fantastic Four, and if they can figure out a way to shoehorn in X-Men between now and next year,
that's a lot of characters to put in a movie. It is a lot of characters. That's a lot of characters to put in. So they're because I would love to see like Moon Knight maybe, or maybe they got to put Hulk in there, I think, too, and a Black Panther.
Yeah, or eventually we'll get a Blade, right?
Yeah, eventually we'll see. We got our Blade with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Because then also, does Deadpool show up again?
Ryan Reynolds said he'd only do like a cameos and stuff going forward in those, but because those movies are tough.
If that's all he's going to do, I'd rather him not be there. Because it would most likely him show up, say a couple quips, and then he'd leave. I don't know if it would add anything to the storyline.
Well, we're gonna have to see. Well, I think that was pretty much it. We had Daredevil, and by the way, speaking of Daredevil, one more time, it reminds me of the Penguin series, doesn't it?
I only got to see the first 2 episodes of the Penguin. I thought it was great. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, it's really good. You should watch it. It's really good. And it kind of gives me that vibe of the Penguin series when I watch it. So I'm like, oh, this is really good. Daredevil, can't wait for episode 4. And obviously the Avengers Doomsday. So, I mean, Dave, I don't know. That's about it. Anything else we want to cover or touch base?
No, I think that's it. Again, we're just talking rumors. We're just talking rumors. So
rumors. That's right.
I don't want to get too tied up on what might not even happen.
All right, guys, like and subscribe. Also, want to thank sponsor Ace Sunglasses. Go to acesunglasses.com/au and get 50% off selected brands. All right, thank Ace Sunglasses and like and subscribe. We will see you next week. All right, Dave?
Yeah, man.
You got it, brother. I'll talk to you.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.